Oh, and remember, boys, even though we're in the intro, record your audio. Audio. Yeah.
Already on it.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Mtashed here with the RGH podcast. That's our new intro. Just kidding, they hate it. Today we're going to talk about a whole bunch of gaming stuff. I'm here with my boy KackisHD and True Not Drunk Tonight.
Not
Vanguard. There he is.
I don't think I just want our viewers to know that we made it through an entire This man made it through an entire podcast, tossed and you didn't even know. My boy is just like absolutely cruising, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, you came in. He was slurring his words. He fell into
make me sound like some alcoholic. Like,
aren't you?
Like I have
Wait,
a
what?
problem. I drink like 2 nights a week, and one of them happens to be with the boys doing the podcast.
Yeah, the only
y'all make me sound like this is every hour I'm awake.
Listen, you only drink 2 nights a week, but you only consider it drinking if it's over 3 glasses of scotch. Am I right?
Well, I mean, you gotta if it gets to the point where you feel it, yeah, that's drinking.
Okay.
If you feel nothing,
what takes to you to feel it would kill me. Like that's the thing. It's like using like a horse tranquilizer on an elephant. Like you can resist Ivy on the ground, buddy.
So today we've got a bunch of great episode topics. We've got Destiny 2 PvP saved ? Again for the 5th time. Also, Bungie is pairing up with Ubisoft to ban, or not even ban, to sue one of the biggest cheat developers, Ring 1. Now, we also talked about this earlier, where they're teaming up with Riot. So, I mean, they're making a whole strike team, an Avengers team trying to take on these cheaters. It looks pretty cool. Now, Horizon...
This is the best crossover episode of just Bungie.
Yeah, seriously.
That's right. To take on cheaters.
We've got some news on Horizon, New World. Warzone is bleeding players and fast. Blizzard's still on fire, so I mean that even feeds into that. And then Valorant clone that I want to talk about near the end. It looks very interesting, and it's on mobile. So let's get started with the Destiny stuff. There was a massive post today from Joel Garoth, right?
Joe Blackburn.
Oh, Joe Blackburn.
But his Twitter handle is Joe Garoth.
Joe Garoth, right. He was one of the big raid developers, but he's actually kind of made his way up in Bungie the last few years, and he's like in a much more senior position right now. Great dev.
Real great guy.
Awesome
Great guy.
Yeah. And he did a post today on Twitter, kind of setting some expectations. I have a feeling that a lot of the stuff he's mentioning or alluding to is going to be in the Bungie Weekly Update tomorrow. Because if you guys saw it, DMG also tweeted like, "Wow, Cosmo, what a beefy twab." And so I'm thinking maybe they're setting some expectations. They're alluding to some of the stuff that's going to be, maybe in that post. There is also the stream on August 24th, so I think that's where we're going to see the brunt of it. But
he actually says in this big, so it's a big Twitter thread, like
20 posts or something.
You can either go read it. I did a video on it. True Vanguard did a video on it. If you want to hear our takes on it individually, but he does mention specifically like that's the only date he mentions. He's like tune into that reveal. So clearly, there. I think even in relation to Trials, he's like see what we're doing to overhaul Trials on the August 24th reveal, which is kind of crazy because this overhaul is coming next season. So it's basically like here's what we're doing at Trials. It's live later in the week, right? It's live season 15, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, there is the TWAB coming out. So I want to mention on the topic of Trials, there is one key piece of information that we do know involving how Trials is being remade. And this was revealed in a TWAB a while back, and it was when they were talking about how Zavala and the Vanguard vendor is changing, and there's going to be Vanguard ranks, so it's going to be more similar to Shaxx, like where you go to Shaxx, you get rewards for ranking up. That's going to replace currently just spamming Vanguard tokens right now. So it was a quick one-liner, but they mentioned Saint 14 will also have ranks. So you will be able to just play Trials, rank up, and presumably get Trials loot without ever having to put together a win streak, which is great for casual players.
Right? Like finally.
I know.
No one plays Trials because they know they're going to get destroyed by recovs and cheaters. This gives them a reason because they maybe can't get an adept weapon, but they can get a couple hand cannon rolls, and you can reset it, right? And so you can make your way through, maybe get some Ascendant materials, start getting some Masterworks, winning some games along the way. And between that and bounties, you have a way to get these desirable weapons, especially if they keep adding weapons that are even better.
Yeah. Even now, you can, whatever the 3-win reward is, you can grab a bounty and you just need match completion. So you'll actually, in the first few wins of a Trials match, you'll probably see teams literally jumping off the edge and committing suicide to end the rounds. They're just farming that one weapon drop, but it's just that one. So once they get it, they're done. Like, once they get it for each character, there's no incentive for them to keep playing that playlist if they can't win. But now with ranks, that could be really exciting. You have an incentive to bring more people in and keep more people there, because like a player population increase is probably one of the things that's going to fix Trials almost more than anything. Like,
absolutely.
The reason you see so many cheaters and you go against so many recubs is because there's only 12 people playing Trials every weekend. Like, you're going to
chances of running into them is pretty good.
Exactly. So it's just a huge problem. And it's like, especially with card-based matchmaking, even if you were a team that you going in for your first time, you're probably going to win a few, but then like there's no luck of the draw. You are going to verse hardcore teams at like 5, 6, 7 wins. So yeah.
So we can speculate. We don't know what all this Trials rework is going to look like, but I would imagine, obviously, like we talked about, the vendor refresh is going to be a part of that. But I also hope, and this is probably going to ruffle some feathers in the Trials community, I also hope there are some matchmaking changes, because I like card-based, but I think that it could be improved upon by having some sort of protection from super casual players matching super sweaty players. You know what I mean? I hope there is some built-in protection there so that we can keep the population numbers up. I don't know. I think we've seen Trials play out so many times now, and we've seen the population die off so many times now. I think it's time to just say, listen, we got to make sure that the casual players do have a reason to be in there, and it's not just them banging their head against the wall just to get loot either. They've got to actually have some fun in there.
Do you think that, in a system where you still get a card, but it just matches you with everyone, and it's like, you need to win 7 games in a row. You need to be consistent to get to the Lighthouse, not, hey, I have to fight the best team to get to the Lighthouse.
I think that's the best approach, because it's like, how it is now, if you're a casual team, you have like no chance of winning. Because when you get to 6 or 7 wins, you're going to match with Grenader Jake, and you're going to get absolutely crapped on. You are going to. Whereas if it was just random matchmaking, you could randomly get all the way there. You could also randomly have like a very hard card, but every card right now is hard. Like you are going to match the sweatiest of the sweat lords every single time you try to go flawless now with card-based matchmaking. But if it was just random matchmaking, an average team could presumably get to the Lighthouse, whereas because of card-based matchmaking, the chances of that happening now are almost impossible. Like, players don't realize that. They think that, oh wait, if you got rid of card-based matchmaking, a casual player would get stomped more often. No, like, you would actually have a way better chance of
actually. The common gamer is going to match the common gamer more commonly.
Yes. Exactly.
There are more common gamers than there are sweat lords. So if you take out the card, like the win-based matchmaking, if you take that out, your chances of just going against someone like you, roughly, they escalate quite a bit.
And that's the thing is people don't understand about statistics is, like, with the bell curve of any population, 96% of people are within one standard deviation. So right in the middle, and then slightly worse or slightly better. 96% of people are in there. And so if that's everyone that's matching, and you practice and you put in the time, you'll be on the upper end of that 96%. Will you beat Grenader Jake? No, you won't. But you'll beat 93% of people. You'll beat 92% of people if you put in the time and you practice. And the chances that you match those people is going to be way, way higher. You can have more success. You can get into those panic situations and those 1v3 situations, and you might actually stand a chance. You can improve, get to the Lighthouse, and feel good about it. Because it's not working. Like, Trials doesn't work how it works right now. You can't even argue that it's a good game mode for the majority of people that are playing.
Especially now, when they introduced adept weapons. Like, now, there's an incentive. Like the hardcore players, right? The Grenadier Jake has an incentive to go flawless, right? Because you want to get the Adept version of the Igneous Hammer or the Adept Messenger because it's a little bit better, right? That's such a big deal. Do you guys remember when Trials first came out? There was no Adept weapons. Yeah. So it was like it was just like the hardcore players were like, "What the heck is this? Like, what even is the point of this?" But now
they were farming the 3-win. They'd go 3 wins reset, 3 wins reset.
Yeah, 3 wins reset. That was a huge problem there. And Bungie's like we should have done it. Like, Bungie, just do it right the first time, for God's sakes. Anyways, now that that's been fixed, you don't have the hardcore players mad that it's become too casualized because they always have that 7-win incentive for that Adept loot. You just need to increase the player population. But it should be noted, Trials is the thing that is coming next. Season 15, big changes. But in the tweet thread, we also got a ton more information about like stuff people have been asking for, new maps. So 2 of the maps that were taken out with the vaulting, they're being added back with the launch of the Witch Queen, right? So it's not really technically 2 maps, but hey, it's 2 more maps in rotation that aren't available right now. The season after that, season 17, 1 brand new map, never seen before, 1 new map. Season 18, 1 map from Destiny 1 that's coming back, never been in Destiny 2 before, which is, at this point, it's basically a new map, because Destiny, it would be like 5 years since Destiny 1. Like, I'll give them a pass on that. But definitely there's still a debate. They also talked about some new game modes. Rift, they want to bring Rift back into Destiny 2, and I think they said there's a couple more game modes they're working on. So it's like 2022, from the start of the Witch Queen forward, we are 100% getting new maps, getting new modes. It's been a freaking long wait to get to this point. Yeah. It will be about 3 years, I think, at that point, since Luke Smith infamously said that we have a renewed focus on PvP. So, renewed focus on PvP, 3 years of absolutely dick all, and then finally we're getting some maps that they took away in the first place. So,
if I may.
Go ahead.
If I may. Speaking as a PvP lover, PvP enthusiast in Destiny, this is, it's good news, but I am not ready to sing the praises of this news. I'm not ready to throw my hands up in the air and say, yay, Bungie. As much as I love and respect them and the work that they do, this is an inexcusable amount of time to have radio silence for your PvP community. This is an inexcusable stretch of time to precede this 2-year drought by saying renewed focus on PvP, go radio silent, and then just let your player base have this cadence of hopeful anticipation, new season or a new DLC. Here it comes. Is this the renewed focus? And what are we going to see? Nothing. And then you get disappointed. You wait for the next season. You're anticipating it. You're hopeful. You're disappointed again. And there's never any communication. If this was the reality we were going to face, I firmly believe they owed it to their diehard PvP community. They owed it to the fans of this game to say 2 years ago, not we have a renewed focus. What they should have said is, we do not have any clear plans right now for some solid PvP, genuinely unique PvP content. And it won't happen for years. We just want to set that precedent. We don't want you guys to have this hopeful expectation, because we really don't have anything for you guys right now. Some of our guys are gone. A lot of our PvP guys are working on a new IP. So just to be transparent with you guys, I think they owed it to their community to say that. I am excited about having one genuinely new map coming in the season after Witch Queen. I'm excited to see what that is. But I was really genuinely disappointed to see that they treated this like some sort of revelation that they came to, like, oh, we see your feedback and now we understand that you guys want PvP to sort of progress alongside PvE. Oh, now we know that you guys want new maps that are relevant to what's going on in the Destiny universe. I just thought that was a given. And I thought that should have been a given a long time ago. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm excited about that stuff. I believe that stuff is going to be great. It's going to be great to get into that new cadence where they're coming out with new stuff along the way. But it is sincerely too late.
Well, and the other thing too is, it's like, in a lot of the rhetoric, it's like, we're laying the groundwork, and we've got a couple maps going, but we're laying the groundwork. It's like, then what were you doing?
Yes.
What
They
were
said-
you doing then? Because
can I
because I
put
thought
on-
you were
Okay, go
trying to
ahead.
do that, right?
Let me put on my Bungie shill hat for 2 seconds. Let me be a paid by Bungie shill for 2 seconds here. I'm gonna do the unthinkable.
So like
I'm gonna
normal?
yeah. Let me defend Bungie for a quick little bit here, because
Go
obviously
for it. No, go for it.
the PvP players have a very fair point. Yeah. So renewed focus on PvP. Luke Smith should have not said that. Like, that was clearly either a lie or just a complete misinterpretation of what was possible. But let's look at the timeline here. Right before Shadowkeep, with Season of Arrivals, they split from Activision. Okay? So that's a huge deal. They're on their own.
Yeah.
Remember, they had 3 studios, High Moon, Vicarious Visions, and Bungie, working on Destiny 2. They went down to 1, right? These studios basically churned out entire expansions. They lost a ton of resources, right? People need to understand that, right? There's no Forsaken without the Activision money. It's just not possible. And the extra manpower. So they split, and they do Shadowkeep, which obviously they were probably working on hand in hand with Activision. They split, they took their assets, they make Shadowkeep, right?
Right. Tracking.
After that, they go and they make Beyond Light. Now, Beyond Light, widely considered a massive disappointment. It's certainly, you can't argue it didn't impact the game. My God, Stasis impacted the game. But another big thing is, look at what they did in the background. New engine, right? New engine and updated Destiny 2 for next-gen platforms. That took a crap ton of work. I think people gloss over this way too often. So many people forget this. Cyberpunk still doesn't have the next-gen version out, guys. Like, clearly, making a game ready and compatible for next-gen is a lot of work. Bungie did it that year. So the new engine, new lighting effects, everything, that was all done with Beyond Light. That was probably what took up most of the development time. Okay, now what's the next big thing? Witch Queen. So it actually does make sense to me that they split from Activision. They basically got through Shadowkeep. They had a bunch of background stuff to do with Beyond Light, and now they're like back on track. They've hired a crap ton of people. They basically tripled the studio or doubled the studio size. So Witch Queen going forward, notice in the tweets, he didn't just say, this is what's going to happen this year. He said, like, every year. So 2022, 2023, 2024, going forward, we will have new PvP maps. There's going to be no drought ever again. Every year we're getting new maps and modes. So it does make sense that from Witch Queen forward, just looking at the timeline, it's like, now we can focus on the content. The background stuff is done. Now it's time for the content.
And that's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then you can't be mad that shitloads of people are quitting. You can't be mad that PvP players resent your game, because even if you are excited about this stuff and a map coming, we still have to wait 6 more months before that happens for the most part.
Yep, totally, totally.
So what? All of August, September, October, November, December, January, into February, 7 months, we're getting some new stuff, right? You know, a couple seasons later, you can't be mad that a lot of the people left. And with Battlefield coming, Apex is popping, there's a Valorant clone being made. Like, is it too late? I don't know.
I am 100% sympathetic to all that stuff you just said, Kackis. 100%. But my only complaint is their community get this hopeful anticipation.
Yep.
They owed it to the people to say, this is what you can expect. And they didn't do that. In fact, they said the opposite. They got our hopes up more than they would have been.
Oh, yes. And that's the thing is, it's
right.
like, I've been like living on a prayer, hoping that like something was going to change here. And they keep like, renewed focus. Ooh, yeah, we're going to make these balance changes. But it's just never truly enough. And they fix one thing, but break another a lot of the time. And I just don't, I don't trust them at all anymore.
Yeah. Well,
and
remember,
I need them to post it. Like, they need to put the content in the game. And like, I might dabble, but there's so many people that don't trust them. Do you know what I mean? That it's going to be like, they're going to put out great content and no one will touch it because they didn't trust them from a year ago. And then a couple more expansions. Like, look at Final Fantasy Online. That game has been putting out banger content for years. But people just like, they're not willing to jump in and try a new thing. And like, finally, WoW has this big, crazy, drama, and Asmongold comes over and people finally see the light. But Destiny could be good for the next 2 years, and people never come back because they feel so burned. And that's what I'm scared of.
I absolutely agree. Remember, that's just me putting on my shill hat. That's just me playing devil's advocate. I do believe that to some respect, but I agree with you guys too. The communication has been trash. And also, it's like, where are your priorities, Bungie? We know for a fact that they have a considerable amount of dev power on this new IP. They keep talking about a new IP. Take some people off the new IP, make them design a new PvP map. It cannot, you've got like 1 month break from that new IP. You could 100% design a new PvP map, put it into the game. There should be an emergency Destiny needs content lever to pull at that studio. I think it's ridiculous that no one pulled that lever. It's like maybe I don't understand how development works, but to me, it's like you have all these people who used to design PvP maps. They left to go make a new IP. You need them back. Bring them back for 1 month, right? Get a new PvP map out of them. Then they can go back on their new IP, Bungie.
But they're just milking this cash cow now. Because the Destiny people that play it, it's a big source of money for them. But I think that they, over the course of the first game and the second game, I think they've lost so many players that they will never get back. And I honestly think they retain the people they retain, and it's a pretty constant thing. And I think that they almost, as a company, need to gamble on a new thing, because I think honestly, Destiny's image is tarnished and it's almost unfixable. If you go in like a Warzone chat and be like, hey, you should try Destiny, everyone's like, KackW, Destiny, LOL, is that game even alive? And I know they do it to every game, but there's been so many droughts, so many problems, so many streamers like Lupo and Summit that have tried the game and then said, nah, it's kind of shit, or moved on from it. Dr. Disrespect played the game and he's like, yikes. I honestly think
they all play PvP, dude. They're all PvPers.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The public perception.
I'll give you, dude. Destiny 2 is one of the best values in terms of a free-to-play game. The amount of, you get a full raid now. You get Vault of Glass. You get Strikes, Gambit, Crucible. You do get so much freaking content. I know.
You sound like a Final Fantasy Online player. You're trying to convince everyone, but they won't listen. They're not going to listen to you. It's too late. It's too late.
Oh, no, it's never too late. It's never too late.
Okay, Final Fantasy Online.
In all seriousness, Final Fantasy, what it really took to blow up, Asmongold goes over, right? So, hey, all it takes is one time, Tfue or whoever the heck the new PvP, everyone's favorite PvP streamer, plays it and actually likes it, Destiny blows up overnight. That's all it really takes. Or they actually add a really in-depth, really RPG-focused new content into PvE, and then you could have people like Asmongold coming to try a Destiny raid. Who the hell knows? Maybe, right? So, dude, look at Splitgate. We talked about Splitgate last week. Literally 200 people are playing this game, and then suddenly, it's to the moon. They have to get $10 million of funding just to keep their servers up, right? So you never know with these games, man. A game can die a million times. All it takes is one really solid. Because listen, Destiny 2 was arguably freaking dead after launch with Curse of Osiris. That was the lowest of lows. Warmind started to bring it back, and Forsaken brought it back. So It's already been. And Destiny 1, God knows how many times Destiny 1 died. Especially in the time between, after the Taken King, that time where it was a year of nothing before the April update, Dark Time still came back, right? So I agree with you. Its reputation has tarnished, and there's no one to blame except for Bungie, because they're so focused on new IPs, they can't pull the emergency we need content lever. I think that I agree with you, but I think that, this game is far from dead. There's still a lot of people that have an interest in this game, and I think you have so much time invested in your character that the hardcores are never going anywhere. You can't just grind. Listen, you can't play.
I'm committed to this character now.
Grandmasters trying to get a god roll Uzume and then just stop playing the game. You've committed to this game.
Yeah, I think Destiny will be fine. In the long haul, for sure. I think it's very, very reasonable. It's very fair for players of the game, people who are fans of the franchise, to have gripes and complaints, and I think that this community is always just too quick to pounce on people who have something negative to say and call it whining and complaining and all that stuff. Like, we're all part of the same community, and it's totally fair for people to have expectations of the developer to uphold their end of the bargain and to keep pushing out the content they said they were going to do. I think it's totally fair.
Bro, if you say anything bad about the game, if you say anything bad about the game, you're a hater. You're just a hater. You're just hating on the game. Shut the hell up. If you say anything good about the game, you're a paid shill. Shut the hell up. Like, yeah, exactly. The community just literally you have like these portions of the community that cannot get it through the one brain cell they have left. That like you can be in the middle and like some things and hate other things and still overall like enjoy the game. Like that to some people, apparently that's like this concept that just you can't understand because you have to apparently follow these camps of like Destiny 2, thou shalt not criticize, or Destiny 2 is dead trash, worst game ever, never coming back. Like I feel like people go into those different when the reality is it's like always in the middle.
Really quickly, good segue. There's one camp that everyone's in. Cheaters suck.
Yes.
And Bungie is trying to fix that. It has been a problem for a while. But they are now teaming up with Ubisoft. So they're teaming up with Activision, with Riot.
Yeah.
And maybe they're still doing that. They're trying to work on some anti-cheat stuff. But now
Gator cheats.
Yeah, now they're working with Ubisoft to sue Ring 1 and try to shut them down completely. Now, if they're doing that lawsuit, it's not along the lines of like, hey, stop making Ring 1. It's, if you make anything else, we will also sue you and we will ruin your life kind of thing. Typically in lawsuits like that,
everything you have,
right? It's like a cease and desist, but it's also like you have caused damage to our brand. And if you try and do it again, we will find you, we will hunt you down and put you behind bars kind of thing. So it's probably going to be a pretty scary thing. Those people don't want to mess with Ubisoft money, and Bungie's got some money too, but the fact that they're grouping together now is good. It's more money, it's more threat. It's hopefully more resources to stop the problem because cheating is everywhere. It's taking over gaming.
I'm telling you,
they shut down Gator cheats. It's possible that they just, with this lawsuit, Ring 1 is like gone. Like there will be something new, but a lot of people have Ring 1, and hopefully they no one else will be getting it, and they can potentially deactivate or do something to remove whoever already has it, or potentially also get their personal info. So if you get the info of who purchased Ring 1, you can line them up with their profiles. Oh, this is the email you gave for Ring 1 to pay for it? That's the same email on your Bungie account, or that's the same email on your Rainbow Six account. Well, you're banned, right?
Yeah. I really think, quite honestly, like cheating, players are too smart now. People are too smart now. They're gonna continue to cheat, and they're gonna continue to make cheats for your games. They're gonna continue to make absolute bank doing it. And a cease and desist is just basically the cash out point for them, and they're just gonna walk away with their bag of money, like, okay, I guess we're done. Time to go cash out. Like, I think at this point, if you really want to shut down cheating, you have to make the risk value so high. Like, you've got to go after some of these people and just completely unrelentlessly take what they got. Just say, listen, every dollar you made off of this, we are suing you for that amount. It's ours now. Like, you got to absolutely crush them in legal fees and lawsuits. That way, future people who are smart enough to make these things are not going to say, I'll make the cheat, I'll sell it as many times as I can until I get the cease and desist. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, it's like, what's the risk? What's the risk? There's how many of these big cheater companies have really been gone after? There's like that one major bust in China. But other than that, not really.
But it's like, I mean, people still sell, we'll get demonetized by saying it. People still, let's say, hustle on the street, if you know what I'm saying. Even though there's penalties of jail and getting your stuff seized, it's like, how do they need to up the punishment like crazy? Is it too easy to get away with it so they're not scared? Because cheaters are everywhere. And like, apparently there's a new AI cheat that is like almost undetectable. I watched one the other day, and it uses like a capture card, and you like install it in, and it's not linked to your computer. Like, it's really hard for them to track it. And it's like, is everyone going to be cheating in the future? It's like, who can cheat the best?
Which is crazy because it's like, how are people such like losers that it's like it's like the whole point is to see how good you are.
PvP energy, man.
The whole point is to see like how good are you at PvP? Can you overcome this play? If you're just like locking onto everyone's heads, like what's the point? Like literally, what's the point? It's just so bizarre. But I think the thing is, there's a lot of money being made with cheat making. I think there's surprisingly little money being spent going after cheaters. And like we see Bungie of all people teaming up with Ubisoft. Dude, why, like, who is initiating this? It seems like potentially Bungie because they're the ones that they did Riot and now they did Ubisoft. So like Activision isn't going after cheaters. We'll talk about like Warzone in a bit. Like that game's in huge trouble because of cheaters. You don't see Activision teaming up with Ubisoft. It's Bungie. So kudos to them. And like, dude, if you can go after these cheat makers, it's gonna do nothing but help. And there's big money to be made from cheats. There's also like big money to be made from like anti-cheat and cheat detection. I swear there's gonna be someone who like develops a cheat detection software and then sells it or licenses it to Activision, to Bungie. And they're going to be making bank. Like, you're set for the rest of your life. If you can make a deal where you get like a percentage or you license it out, you have like a monthly fee to Bungie they have to pay for you to like, it's like if you have a rock solid anti-cheat, you're a millionaire. And as soon as like some really smart programmer figures that out, like that could potentially be the thing to combat cheating. If these companies are willing to spend money on anti-cheat. Right?
Bungie's suing Ring 1 and they're going to be like, all right, well, how about you don't put us in jail? We'll tell you how to beat it. You know? Like
that potentially, honestly.
Who knows? But, I mean, that is one of the reasons why Warzone is bleeding players. We'll jump back to Horizon and stuff, but we're just kind of on the topic of cheating. Warzone is bleeding players. A lot of the big people, Cloaksy said the other day, he's like, every lobby I've played in today has had cheaters in it. Courage was going off on Warzone saying this game is just full of cheaters. Like, I can't play one lobby. A lot of players are essentially saying that it is on a timer. 1 month and that game is going to be dead because you can't play a game. You can't win a game because every lobby has a cheater and they win.
Remember also, there's some very strict and very strong skill-based matchmaking in that game. Mm-hmm. So if you're anywhere, that's why you hear all these streamers complaining about it.
Because they're good. They're good, and it's forcing them to play the cheaters.
Their legitimate fights are hard, and their illegitimate fights are impossible.
Yeah.
So it's like lose-lose.
So which is like, that's the worst. Like, yeah, if you're an absolute casual, you may be in Warzone and not notice cheaters. That's very possible. But if you're like remotely good at the game, it will put you in with the cheaters very quickly because of skill-based matchmaking. And this is the top echelon is not the people you want hating the game. These are the people that promote your game by streaming it, make content on your game. Like imagine how much worse Destiny 2 would do if every Destiny content creator stopped making content. Like
it would be dead. It would be gone.
And mouth the game on the way out. Yeah.
Like honestly, and crapped on the game on the way out. If every single content creator was like, "I'm out of here. This game sucks," the game would die basically overnight because like. Do you know how, like, what a motivation it is if Frostbolt, if myself, if UTV, if anyone like posts, hey, this gun's cracked out of its mind, here's some gameplay, go after and get it. That's a huge motivating factor for people to log on the game and go and get that gun. Same with Warzone. Like, hey, this new gun's awesome. If no one's making that content, the motivating factor for you to go in and play is so much less.
Right. Oh, 100%. And like that's the thing is like the casual audience will still be there, but it's not going to be promoted and pumped in your face every day. Every time you log into Twitch, Warzone is in the top 4 games, and so it's like that just goes away, and they lose all of that. People are annoyed too because they have spent money on the game or on different skins. They put in a lot of time in the game, and they can't get rewarded for it because they can't win a game because there's aimbot.
I saw that clip
going
this
on.
week. Who was it that posted that clip?
I don't know.
Where the guy,
I don't know.
The kill cam was like,
dude,
it's flicking all the way across the
map.
Sometimes the Destiny cheaters are subtle. Like you're not exactly sure, and then you like check their game report, and it's like, oh, this guy's 95% accuracy with a sniper. Like, sure, bud, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Warzone, they just turn aimbot's
They don't
a
even
pro.
care.
I've
They don't
literally
even-
seen clips of like people with machine guns. It like all the people are dropping down like from the beginning
Right.
of Warzone, and they're just like, and it's like non-stop lock on. It's like holy crap, dude. They don't even give a crap. There's like no effort to like
Yeah.
try to conceal it. It's just like
That's right.
it's like the people in Destiny who use like the infinite ammo like grenade launchers like a colony. It's like those people, dude.
There's
With
a clip I saw where a guy was going up in Apex, like up one of those relaunchers, and by the time he gets to the top, he kills like 5 people. It's just like just murdering, mowing down
Yeah.
people. He flies off, goes back up, and just keeps doing it and just murders everybody running to the zone. It's wild. And I mean, for me, if they can't get it under wraps, if they can't get cheating under wraps, I won't play PvP games long term because it is so frustrating to me. What is the point of playing
That's exactly right.
when you're going to lose against a cheater? I would rather try to be a roguelike streamer or Diablo or anything. But if
PvE.
Or PvE, if they can't fix PvP though, which typically is one of my favorite things to do, the games are dead for me. Like I just can't take them seriously. It's one of the reasons why I struggle with Destiny to this day. And I don't know.
Someone said Tarkov posted a video of the week, and the clip was of a cheater.
That's funny.
Like, what a
Amazing.
sick play by XX Snipes XX. The guy is cheating. Like,
Yo,
oh,
tweet that at us. I want to see that clip. If you can find
That's
that,
funny.
tweet it to
Tweet
the
it at
RGH channel or
there's
to
an
me
RGH
or something.
Twitter, like at RGH on Twitter. We'll take a look at it.
I know we keep saying it, but
Follow us on Twitter.
Battlefield
Oh.
2042, you gotta pay.
Yes.
to play.
Yes, dude. Like that's the
We
big
might be going back to traditional models, man.
Dude, all these people like, oh, I don't know if I want to pay $70.
Then you have
It's
to
like-
play against this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, why?
Okay, listen, buddy. You've spent $150 on
On
skins
skins, yeah.
in Warzone, and you complained about cheaters every day. So if I hear one word out of you about Battlefield $70 being too much, I'm gonna lose it. Like, this is exactly what it should. Like, you have to. It is such a fact. If you ban an account, you have to pay to buy the game again. That demotivates so much cheating. It's not even funny.
Dude, I would spend $150 on Battlefield Premium Edition if it meant that I could jump in there day one and never have to play a cheater. I will
very
fund
unlikely.
you. I will fund you. Like, I will buy the nicest top one there, but it's getting taxing. And the thing is, it's not just Warzone, it's Apex. But like, the thing is even with that,
And someone made a good point. It's not just PC. There's cheaters
on
There's
console
a lot
now.
of cheats
Yeah.
going on console now, right? That's not safe anymore either. It's less common, but it's not impossible.
But really quickly too is like, you know, one of the other things is Warzone is bleeding players. I think maybe stagnation, maybe the game is a little bit boring. I don't know if it's just the cheaters, because Apex has cheaters too, like quite a bit. I've never seen them myself, but people are complaining about it. But Apex just released a new season, and I also saw Courage playing it, Cloaksy playing it, a lot of these big streamers, and they're like, oh damn, Apex is actually really good.
This is actually a really good game.
Right? and they're jumping in. It's almost like Final Fantasy Online. It's like this shooter's been there, it's been good, but they've been playing Warzone, they've been playing Fortnite, they've been doing all these things. They finally play it, and they're like, damn, this is fun. I mean, I did a sponsored thing with Apex, and I was like, holy cow, like I haven't played this in over like a year and a half. It's awesome. And so
It's a really good game.
It
And
really is.
They made some major changes to World's Edge with this season 2. Brand new POIs, brand new gun, brand new character, and
What's the new
new
gun?
sandbox updates. What?
What's the new gun, can I ask?
Yeah, it's a new heavy machine gun called the Rampage. It's not like the Spitfire. You know, Spitfire's like spray and pray. Just brrr. This
Not
one's like,
great, it's also dead accurate.
yeah, this one is, well, they nerfed Spitfire too.
Oh, okay.
And they put the Spitfire in
I know, the drops.
the drops. So, anyways, so the Rampage is a much slower rate of fire, like dot 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 dot. And it's heavier hitting. Has reduced headshot damage, more limb damage. So it's not a precision weapon. It's more like your It's really good early game. Not really like great end game unless you have it fully kitted out. But you can like charge it up with thermite grenades. Like you put a thermite grenade in it, and then it's got like that same Spitfire rate of fire, like you know what I'm saying. But you actually have to use inventory space to carry around those grenades to charge it up if you want to run that. So it's a bit of a give and take. It's a really interesting process that they have. But
That's sweet.
Yeah, I love that Apex is just constantly changing the landscape of their game. Like one season, this character might be on top, like man, they're banging. But then the next season, they make very minor changes. So if you love that character, you can still play him and be successful. But they also do minor buffs to somebody else, and so people are like, "Oh, I'm going to check that out." So the landscape is just always changing. It's great, love it.
Yeah, like minor changes, not like deleting an entire 150 RPM archetype hand cannons for no reason, because them in this sandbox wouldn't even be that good.
Now, unfortunate news: Horizon Forbidden West delayed, pushed back a little bit. That one,
2022.
That one,
right? Yeah,
is like for me, just make it good. I freaking loved the first one. If you need more time, take some time.
Make sure time you
seriously
need.
Make sure it runs good. Release it when you're ready. I can't wait for it. But New World today,
this morning,
they announced that it's delayed until September 28th.
So just a few weeks.
Yeah, like a few weeks. Pushback or about 1 month, isn't it? Because wasn't it supposed to be end of August?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this makes things interesting. Like for me, I wasn't going to be able to play it because the Destiny stuff on August 24th, and then obviously following that. But now it's like a whole month later. Maybe I could play some New World. You know?
Yeah. Is that time window going to be better for New World or worse? I wonder. Is it closer to the Battlefields and the Halo Infinites and stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's not a lot of overlap. That's a totally different genre.
True, yeah. I guess it's MMO. But are they now closer? What day is the new Final Fantasy Online?
Ooh.
What day is that? Let me just find Endwalker date. Because, I mean, if they're getting closer to that...
That could be not good. That could be bad.
Okay, November 23rd. So
okay,
that's like they've got a couple months, but they would have had 3 months.
Of November.
They would have had like 3 months. And the thing is, the way I'm looking at it too is like if they bait people in for 3 months, they get really invested in the game. Maybe they're not as willing to go switch to Final Fantasy, or they release it closer and people are still addicted. Honestly, they're a little bit closer to that release, and then they're less likely to move. I'm not sure which one's better.
I think
it's a far enough time. I think it's good.
This is definitely the play. I think because we have seen, especially in the last 2 years, what a bad launch can do to a good game. Mm-hmm. We've seen good games have bad launches and really, really pay the price. So whatever you got to do to get that launch just right is worth it. And Mr. GWG in chat asks, what can they develop in 3 weeks? It's not necessarily that they're not developing new content. They are absolutely doing no developing in that time period. What they are doing is making sure the servers are optimized. They're making sure the bugs are out. They're making sure performance issues are ironed out and the kinks are ironed out. They want the game to run smoothly. So you don't have all of these technical hurdles to get past just to experience the game. And that's what a lot of these titles have had to deal with. Cyberpunk, even Outriders had some of those issues where you're going over technical hurdles just to get to the content. And they're trying to remove those barriers to make sure there's nothing stopping you from diving in and enjoying the game. That's important.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tried it, it crashed my computer twice. So hopefully they can fix that. That would be nice.
And speaking of Cyberpunk, they're still suffering. Their share price actually today dropped another 9.79%. Now, I don't know if there's some new news, but 6 months ago, they were $77 a share. If you look back in January, $92 a share at peak. They are now $43. So, I mean, they have absolutely fallen, from one big game like that. So that can hurt the company long term. That bad PR, that bad press, people aren't as willing to buy the next game. And I think these companies obviously know that, but maybe Cyberpunk was a big wake-up call saying, don't put out your stuff if it's not ready. Halo delayed like a year, because if Halo fails this time, people are done with the series. It's over. Halo can't come back if they have a bad launch again. And so they delayed a full year. We didn't really talk about the Halo Infinite, that first flight. Did you guys want to have a little quick chat about that one?
I don't think any of us were in it.
We weren't, but did you check out any footage?
No. Hey,
Visually?
343, what the fuck? Send me an email. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, visually looked really good.
You don't want me to slay out and ruin people's experiences because I'm a god? All right, fair enough.
Okay.
I'll be real. I have no excitement about that game right now. I will give it a shot, but I'm not going to go out of my way. It never even crossed my mind like, oh, I need to make sure that I get in I didn't even try. I didn't care.
Yeah. Like, I'll download it one day after Christmas, like, whatever.
I watched some of the clips, and I was like, oh, cool. It looks like Halo. Like,
yeah. To me,
I hope the best for it, but
yeah. I'm kind of with you. I need character investment. If I'm not unlocking new stuff, unlocking new strategies, getting loot, stuff like that, even in like a game like Call of Duty where you're unlocking all these new attachments, finding good combos, stuff like that, getting new perks, I need that. And so Halo is very stagnant. You start with pretty much the same thing every time. You pick up the weapons, there's nothing on it, it's just the same weapons every time. Now, in balance wise, that's the better approach. It's much easier to balance that, but in terms of investment, it's just not my kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
So
fair enough. So Horizon delayed, New World delayed, Warzone is bleeding players. We kind of touched on that main stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Let's talk really quickly on the Blizzard stuff, because there's been a little bit more. Blizzard is just
There's been a
melting.
decent amount more.
Yeah,
dude, like, so there was we basically, when we did our last podcast, it was essentially, I think it was like the day of the walkouts.
Yes.
And since that time, they hired a union busting firm, because obviously the developers and the employees are kind of like coming together, and there's like talk of a union, and Activision doesn't want that, so they're going in there to try to prevent that. And also, one of the huge higher ups in Blizzard left his post like a couple days ago, or like yesterday or something.
Well, the president stepped down.
Was it the president? Yeah, the president's like no longer there. They almost like didn't even announce it. They just like, he's like no longer with the company. He just like left. He just didn't show up for work one day. He's just like, I'm out of here, boys.
It's that gif of that guy's like peace, and he just
the guy's exactly. Yeah. and fades away. 100%.
And all the comments on that is like, cool, but you haven't addressed any of the issues yet. So, like, you haven't hit any of the checklist from the walkout. You haven't done any of this. World of Warcraft's still getting zero work done. No one is working on the game because everyone is like, nope.
All of this stuff is
fix
so
the problem.
Slow. This whole process, like, I know it's such a hot topic, and everyone wants updates daily. Like, what is happening though with this, process? It's a very slow process. I mean, there's so many steps in this whole thing that could get hung up on an email that doesn't get returned for a few days. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of moving cogs in the machine. Ultimately, though, stay tuned. Make sure you're continuing to express your disappointment, your concerns. Make sure that you're sharing, retweeting, and liking any posts from people who are victims in the scenario, who have credible things to say. Continue to be a part of the conversation, but don't expect immediate results. It's going to take time.
If that's the case, though, how many millions are they going to bleed? Are they going to start, if there's a walkout, are they going to start getting, what do they call it, scabs? Like people that come in during
the thing is, like, you can't, like, it's almost impossible. Like, you could, okay, so like when there was walkouts and stuff in Britain, and they'd have people back in the day, people walking up for coal. That's when they would get the scabs, because you can get someone to come in and mine coal. It's a little bit different with, like, you could definitely maybe get some scabs, but it's like, how are you going to replace the guy who's been working years on like this World of Warcraft update? Like, just get someone new, and it's going to take so long to like train them and explain to them.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that's possible. But we kind of talked about it last time, and again, there was that one tweet that's like, no work's being done. It doesn't sound like, how are they going to release Call of Duty this year? How are they gonna they haven't even revealed they said in a conference call, in an investor call, there's gonna be a new Call of Duty this year. We've heard nothing. It's August. It's freaking August, and we've heard absolutely nothing about this new Call of Duty, right? So how are they even gonna put together a reveal event? And if they do, dude, could you imagine? Okay, just imagine, both of you, Call of Duty reveal event on Twitch. What is the chat gonna be like?
Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare.
It's gonna be a nightmare, right? It'd be like, you know what I mean? It'll just be, absolutely savage.
But
because
also,
of all this news.
Imagine if they don't release a Call of Duty and what the share price is gonna do, and all the investors, they're gonna be like, that is literally the only thing holding up Activision Blizzard right now. There's no new Diablo. Warcraft isn't getting made. What is holding up that share price? What is the golden goose right now?
Call of Duty
skins and Warzone and all that stuff, and it's like we don't have anything new. You can keep playing Warzone. That's bleeding players.
Yeah, it's really problematic.
Oh,
So man, it's really, really, really going to be interesting to see. Because again, they put out a trailer. They put out a trailer for the new Call of Duty. What are those trailer comments going to say? What is that dislike ratio going to be like? That's not going to be good.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, even if the game is hype and looks great, just because of all of this, there's so much negative. Whatever the next thing they announce, people are going to take out their anger on that next project. So it's just I really wonder what's going to happen this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chris just said the mobile Diablo Immortal is delayed as well until 2022. So it's like, what are you putting out, bro?
Nothing.
That's the thing.
More skins.
You got to keep an eye on some of these dark horses, though. I think all these major companies having these issues, you got to keep an eye on the dark horses, though. Back 4 Blood is about to launch, and
True.
That's the successor to the Left 4 Dead series. A lot of people are going to be revisiting that. You've got Phasmophobia quadrupled their studio size and got professional developers on board, and they're doubling down on their commitment to make that game way better. You've got the Remedy, the developer of Control, actively working on a new secret PvP game inspired by Control. You've got all these dark horses that are just out there, just ready, just gonna release it.
You're right, but there's a not so dark horse. What's the main Call of Duty competitor that's coming out this year?
RuneScape, dude.
Dude, so much hype. Right?
It's gonna be huge, man. I can't wait.
Call of Duty has this. Activision has this dark cloud lingering over it.
Can you imagine if they released just standard deathmatch, as a? I mean, they probably will.
They are going to. They have. They say they have on smaller maps a more it's going to be more Call of Duty experience. Yeah.
Because Battlefield 3 it was a pretty limited version, but if they double down on that, oh man, they're gonna crush it.
If there's any year Battlefield takes over from Call of Duty, it's this year.
Yeah.
It has to be the perfect storm, right? It is.
EA is relatively scandal-free right now. We'll see what happens. But it's just hey, a lot of people have said, understandably so, I don't want to support Activision. And Call of Duty is Activision's flagship brand. So I feel like a lot of people are just not going to buy it because they're screw Activision, right? They're sticking it to Activision. And again, there's going to be all this negativity and press around whenever Call of Duty is revealed, if it is revealed, and God knows they've lost how many weeks of work on this title. It's genuinely, Battlefield could take over this year. And once it does, once you get more people buy Battlefield, it's huge. Because Battlefield's generally a pretty solid game, right? If Battlefield 2042 is good, I don't think you're going to see a lot of people returning to Call of Duty, especially with the cheater situation.
They'd need a new Call of Duty and jump to that one, but they're not going to go to a new next-gen game and then go back. I don't see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, so
because people aren't going back to Overwatch. Even if Overwatch upstays, they're waiting for the second one. They're waiting for the updates for all these games.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. When the hell is Overwatch 2 coming out?
Right? Well, never now. Never now.
That's why Blizzard takes so long to release titles. They're too busy diddling their new employees. Like, what the hell is this? Takes them like 5 years to make a new title because 4 years is spent in the Cosby suite doing God knows what. Like, what are you guys doing over there?
How's the work on that new Overwatch character? Here's what we got so far. Make her sexier. Take most of her clothes
Yeah,
off.
well, Bob
my
from
God.
development, yeah, exactly. Bob from development's out there trying to hit a new intern for the last 17 hours, so we haven't gotten any work done on our new character. Like,
That's
I mean, like, honestly, that's probably not exactly true. I'm sure there's hardworking devs at Blizzard, right? And they've still put out some solid products, but
I don't mean to undercut
this is
that.
this is going to be the meme, though. Like, it takes Blizzard forever to make content, and a lot of these horrible accusations involve Blizzard. This forever now forward, this will be the meme. Oh, you're delaying it? Is it because you're harassing your employees again? Right? Like, that will always be the thing going forward. And I can't imagine a bunch of really talented devs are going to be too thrilled for working for a company with that stigma over their head for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you're the social media manager and you got to read that every day, or you're actually like a quality dev. And you have to deal with that harassment every day.
Like, you're a hot commodity, right? Like, why wouldn't you jump ship and go to another? Why wouldn't you work on New World or whatever? Like, honestly, I feel like that's going to be one of the lasting impacts of this story. Is you're going to see a lot of. I mean, the CEO just up and left. You're going to see a lot of people doing the same, basically.
Well, and a lot of these companies, like, because they are public and they're very profit based, they're putting out minimal viable products. They're getting a game working. They're cash cowing these games. Like, a lot of the people that are the developers who want to make these amazing games, they're like, hey, I thought of this great feature. And they're like, yeah, but how much money will that make? You know, I can imagine how many awesome ideas get shut down daily at that company. It can't be good. It can't be good working for that company. And I mean, even some people at Bungie, I've kind of heard a similar thing. It was like, hey, we want to do this thing. And they're like, no, it's too expensive. We can't do that. It's not a good enough feature. And, you know, I think they're going to have a lot of growing pains here, but we've got Call of Duty delays, Warcraft delays, Overwatch delays, Diablo delays on mobile and Diablo 4. Like, this is billions and billions of dollars in games, of AAA games, of big things that had the chance to change gaming. When are they coming? We don't know.
Someone made a thing that said BlizzCon this year is going to be interesting. Like, geez, good point.
You have to wear a chastity belt there if you want to get through the lineups.
I never leave home without mine.
So really quickly, speaking of devs that didn't take any time to copy a product, there is here. Let me get the link so you guys can at least see it. There is a Valorant clone. Let me get the link for you guys so you can see this. I'll share the tweet. This looks like exactly the same as Valorant. Check this out. I posted it down there. They've made essentially a clone on mobile of Valorant. Looks so similar. Some of the animations, they literally took, like, what is her name? Mia, and she does like the ice wall thing.
Ice wall, yeah.
They're like, okay, it's not going to be green. We're going to make it blue. You know, like, they just kind of changed the homework a little bit. It's going to make $1 billion. That game is going to be so popular. There's Fortnite clones. There's PUBG clones. And the thing I wanted to bring up here is we can't even play a song for 30 seconds in a video, or it's like, yeah, demonetized. You can't do that. They're like, we're going to steal 95% of your game, but only 95%, and then they can release that. And it's like, is that fair use? Is it different enough that it doesn't count? It seems so close that it shouldn't be possible.
Well,
Right.
I got. Where is this being developed? Is it?
I don't know. I have to look it up. This is a new find for me.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of times, it's just an issue of, well, our laws don't cross those borders.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's being developed in China, and it's like, what are you gonna do? They're just over there developing their own thing. They 100%. It's like breaking legal laws. Good luck suing them. Right? Like, good luck.
Yeah. I guess that's part of it. But I'm curious to see. It's funny though because there's a League of Legends clone called Arena Valor, I want to say.
Dude, this is
Or something
100%. Like they just completely ripped.
They just ripped the
off
games.
Valor.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, Arena Valor. It's like the same UI. Half the champions look the same. The entire map placement is the same. But that game is like hundreds and hundreds of millions of revenue. And you know, it isn't China. It's on mobile. But they're able to copy these games, and the world's top mobile game with a revenue of $267 million US in January. A 10-cent game. Like that's crazy. They could just copy and paste it, and it's like, there you go. So, guys,
honestly,
if you want to develop a game, hit me up. I got some ideas of games I want to copy.
I mean, unfortunately, like the Chinese Communist Party and China in general is quite known for like stealing people's copyright and ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you've seen the like fake KFC stores and stuff. Yeah, and like it's complete copyright infringement. But good luck. You know what? There was a car case where I'm just recalling from memory that talked about on like Top Gear where they said like they completely copied like a BMW or something like that. It looked exactly the same. Like they showed it side by side. It's the same freaking car, just a different logo. And they took them to court. And of course, in these legal proceedings, the Chinese Communist Party proceeds over it, right? It's not an impartial third party. And they looked at these two identical cars and they're like, we don't actually see any similarities between these two cars. Like, and they told BMW to like go away. So it's like BMW's like, well, like what? You know what I mean? Like that's what's gonna happen. They don't care, dude.
They're gonna come out with a new looter shooter where you play as the guards and you inherit power from the Graveler.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I'm waiting
you wield the brightness.
The brightness.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Hey, maybe I'll actually play that game.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, someone said it's Hong Kongo. They're homies. Not anymore. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but unfortunately.
So really quickly, I just want to shout out. We got a $5 donation from Ishnen. You know who doesn't have cheaters? Stadia. You know who doesn't have players? Stadia.
Yeah. No, Stadia has players. Fallout plays it so you can get easy wins because you can't win on PC. I said that to him on Twitter though. It's honestly smart. It is. That's actually a good point. It's those because you stream through. It's like Google's giving you the game, right? Like they're streaming it to you. And Nvidia GeForce Now, that's the same thing, right? You can't cheat on Nvidia GeForce Now, can you? Because it's like they are playing the game at Nvidia headquarters.
You're playing the version they're giving you. So if they're not giving you a cheated version, then you're not cheating.
Could that be the next like way to avoid cheaters? Like if they said, hey, everyone getting this Nvidia GeForce Now lobby or whatever, right? It's impossible to cheat because it's not on your hardware. We're streaming it to you.
Right.
Like generally the downside is that you have a tiny bit of input lag.
Yeah.
But if they can get rid of that, like that could be one of the solutions to cheating is that technology of like streaming the game to you. Right. That's really interesting actually. Like Stadia did not work out, unfortunately. They kind of fumbled over, but it is a legitimate way to avoid cheaters entirely.
Connor with a $5 donation saying cheaters are on console. Yeah, we mentioned that. Andrew Preston. Some of my favorite variety streamers have left Destiny because of the state of PvP. And absolutely. And he also said the average person is not going to be doing dungeons, raids, and GMs. I would agree. I would agree that like a lot of that content is, it's some of the more elite players for sure. Trey with a $4 donation, thank you so much, and Matt McPherson with a 20 bomb. Thank you. We also got some new memberships from Shiver. What game would you love to see a new version of? For me, it's
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Remade
Oblivion?
Modern Warfare
Oblivion.
2 multiplayer, bro. The pinnacle of gaming. I want to take an ACR and laser beam someone from across the map with no recoil. Once again, give me that back injected into my veins, baby.
Dude.
I'd love to
Just
see like, I don't know. Let me think on it.
It's got to be for me Oblivion. Elder Scrolls
Oblivion's solid.
Oblivion is one of the best games ever made and has
I'm
some of the
very
most
surprised.
memeable content.
I'm so surprised that they haven't remade Oblivion. That just seems they've remade Skyrim 25 times.
That's right.
And
Like,
Morrowind.
I will never forget that tweet they deleted where they were like, if you want us to stop
buying it.
making Skyrim, stop buying it every time we remake it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because it's so true though. Like, clearly their bottom line showed people want more Skyrim remakes, so they just kept doing it.
Yeah. I would love, this one's going to be pretty niche. I would love Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 3, depending on your region, but Final Fantasy 6, I would love them to do like the Final Fantasy 7 remake treatment. Voice acted, beautiful cutscenes, like completely rehaul that game, because I think that it has the best story. Like probably the best story of, it's in my top 3 of all games. The best villain in all of gaming for me. It's got amazing characters. Like it was truly a masterpiece, but now it's dated for some people, and like I don't think they'll try it. But they deserve to know what happens. You know what I mean? Like I want them to experience that story, and I doubt people will ever get the chance to.
Someone said Black Ops 1. Oh, you mean when they took out stopping power and didn't put anything to balance it? So literally every single person was running Ghost, every single lobby? Get out of here. Get that out of here with this crap, Black Ops 1. You had Hans Zimmer doing the music for Modern Warfare 2. Go look up on YouTube the like Modern Warfare 2 like start title music. You get pumped, bro. You're like ready. You're like, bro, I feel like I'm back in like high school, junior high, like ready to actually drop a nuke on these kids. You hear like that Hans Zimmer music? I'm ready, baby. Get my Smash 12 as my secondary. Whoo, we going.
One of my favorite things about Rick Cack is anytime someone disagrees with him, it's get behind me, Satan.
I know. It's like the guy just wants to play some Black Ops. Leave
I
him
don't know.
alone.
I kind of liked Black Ops 1. Go die in a couch, dude. You piece of trash.
Wrong, dude. Black Ops 1's a solid one. Zombies is incredible. Black Ops 1 has the best zombies.
Oh, see, now he's hyping it up. Like you just
No, not
on.
multiplayer though.
Okay.
I just want to. The interesting part, just adding on a little bit of what I said, is like I said multiplayer for a reason. Isn't it so weird that they remade the Modern Warfare 2 campaign and just the campaign?
Yeah,
Like,
that's weird.
Is that not weird to anyone else? Like, have they ever done that? It's like they purposely didn't remake multiplayer because I think they knew they'd take players away from the new Call of Duty multiplayer, which is so weird.
Michael in chat mentioned a game. I want to know if you guys have ever heard of it or ever played it. Vigilante 8. Did you ever play Vigilante 8?
No.
That game was incredible. It was like the original BR, but it was so you were it was like a hero game, right? Like a hero style shooter. Like you have unique characters, you could pick one and they had a specific skill set, but they were drivers of vehicles. Almost sort of like a Mario Kart kind of thing, but you're not racing. It's like you all spawn on a big map and you got to take out all the other cars, and they're all like unique heroes with unique cars, with unique abilities and attacks.
I did play this one. I did play this. It's kind of like Twisted Metal.
So good. It was so good.
I never played that, dude.
Yes.
Loved that game.
I played it at a friend's house. Now I'm looking at it because one of the first pictures is a car here with a beehive, and I'm almost positive I used that. Like I promise. Huh. Yeah, do you know what? We haven't had any like that would be kind of a shake-up. Like Twisted Metal 8 or Vigilante, like the remake. I think they could do it really good now.
Yeah. You have like a lot of like nostalgic games that people would be like so down for like a remake. I'm surprised you don't see it more often. Like it took them a hot minute to do like the Mass Effect one, and that was received generally pretty good. I'm so sad they didn't have Mass Effect v multiplayer, bro,
Right.
I would basically have quit my YouTube career so I could grind Mass Effect v multiplayer nonstop. That was like such a fun game mode. I'm so upset that they don't have it.
Mike Gleason with a 6-month membership. Actually, Shiver was 6 months as well. Insanity! 6 months of support. Thank you.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
very,
it.
very much.
Yeah. Any other? I mean, we're kind of in RGH After Dark right now. Like we just we've been flowing into it. Any cool questions or anything you guys want to bring up? Feel free.
Someone said Battletoads. Like, oh my god.
I will incentivize the memberships this way, guys. In After Dark, we do tend to prioritize questions asked by members. And 2, your memberships directly fund a bottle of whiskey a week for me. So
exactly. Your memberships are being funneled directly into whiskey purchases. I cannot think
into distillation, and
I can't think of a better place for them to go.
That's right.
So, balloon fight battle royale. I don't know if this is a thing, but is there a balloons tower defense battle royale?
No.
They should make that.
How would that work?
Because, okay, so I've got a track and you've got a track, and I can see your placements. And so you're placing down your super monkeys, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to send some lead balloons. And then you've seen me with all my snipers, and you're like, I'm just going to flood them. Like, you could send different waves.
Battle Royale?
Yeah, or even just like PvP. Where like
PvP.
Yeah,
okay.
like or something.
There's already co-op. There's co-op.
No, I want to fight you. I want to fight you. or like if they did like, because they've done Tetris 99, right? And it's like a BR Tetris. What if they just did like everyone's got the same amount of balloons that come out, but there's just random maybe buffs or like bonuses to different monkeys, so you have to master all the monkeys.
You
have to master the monkey.
You'd have to take away the tower defense system, and then you'd start as a normal dart monkey, and then you would like loot like a super monkey or like the cannon monkey and stuff, and you would go around and try to fight other players, or like you would maybe go and collect balloons. You'd have balloons floating, and so you'd have to pop all the balloons on a player to kill them.
Maybe. Or
that's $1 million idea.
Or imagine this. You're the balloon, right?
And you gotta float away.
And you gotta float around and don't get popped.
Riveting gameplay.
Right? Pretty nice.
These are $1 million ideas here.
A couple of people asked what's TV sipping on tonight. I just made myself an old fashioned. I've been doing old fashions with mole bitters instead. It's more South American spices. Very, very good, rich flavor. But I've been coupling that.
What's a mole bitter? Or a
mole?
Like guacamole?
Bro.
What the frick is a mole bitter?
If I could kick you right in your butthole right now, I would.
Bro.
And the whiskey
is bitter. Legit question. What is the difference?
I answered that. So most people for old fashions use Angostura bitters, which is your traditional bitters. But lately I've been using mole bitters, which are spices that are more like Argentina, Chile, your South American spices.
Okay, so what's a bitter?
Bitters are used in a lot of different drinks.
I've seen it
to make them worse. To make it even worse.
It has like a very small alcohol content. It's like 4% or something.
So your bitters basically are, Mike. It's just like spices and aromatics that are going to give you a different flavor profile, and they're really designed to bring out different flavors in the whiskeys themselves.
Okay. This whiskey now tastes like dead body. Nicholas.
Yeah, dude, I don't think they have bitters in twisted tea, so I don't think Tash knows about it.
Hey, what's wrong with the little tea?
Oh my gosh!
Nicholas Conte with a new membership, and then Shiver.
We got do a freaking.
Yeah, we'll do it in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll do it in a minute.
Okay.
Shiver with a $20 donation. He says this is towards a Basil Hayden rye for TV. Well, that's perfect because he gets all the money anyways and hasn't paid us a penny. He reveals to us earlier before the podcast, oh, by the way, I got paid out from YouTube for the podcast. And we're like,
Mike,
must be nice. That must be nice. I would love to get paid out. I'd love to pay my bills. Anyways, that's
that's
for.
what
I'll send you each your $22 from our membership cuts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you know what is also paying us money is our fantastic sponsor, Advanced GG, baby. The best and only clinically proven gaming supplement out there. Listen, you gotta try this stuff. Fantastic flavors. They've got I have a flavor. He's got a flavor. They just came out with the metal shaker cups, which are fantastic. And you use code RGH. That's going to support all three of us. It goes to an account that we've never seen the money from. Tash is in control of this account. I've never seen nothing from this account.
Hey, you're the one with the designer robes, bro. I'm over here in Target.
No one
clothes.
is saying that you can't buy designer robes. If all of you can afford a Versace robe,
I
only
can't
one of us
afford
is dumb
that.
enough to actually have bought it. Okay, it doesn't mean that you two can't afford one. It just means I'm stupid enough to actually have bought it. So there you go.
I might get a part-time job soon
Oh my
at Taco Bell.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay.
I need a new lawnmower. It broke. A little late on the promo code. Didn't have any advanced GG today. Sheesh. That's okay. We did it. We threw it in at the end. Sometimes we like to spice it up. You never know what you're gonna get on this podcast. Honestly, it's a.
You get interrupting, you get technical errors, and you get drunkenness, and those are the three
Hey,
best.
I actually now officially have an advanced GG code.
RGH.
Is RGH?
I won't tell you what it is on this show because I don't want to. Unlike these other clowns, I'm not going to promote my own code for my own personal gain here.
Right.
Okay. Probably smart.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well,
That's it. We're gonna
Someone
have a
actually
fight now off stream.
can I say someone made a funny joke? Mr. Frog's like, "You're all scamming each other, aren't you?" And that's actually true because the Manscaped stuff all went to me.
That's right.
And then the advanced GG stuff all goes to Tash, and then the channel revenue all goes to TV. So we're all just separately ripping off each other. So just hopefully it just equals out. In the
It's
end.
not. I'm paying for the editor, and I'm getting scammed.
But I don't pay them. I don't pay them their cut because they're not paying taxes on this YouTube revenue. Okay, I got.
Well, what YouTube revenue? YouTube revenue none of us have seen.
That's right. You guys were not making any YouTube revenue, by the way.
Exactly true.
Honestly,
All right, well.
I just like hanging out with the boys.
That's right.
True. Exactly.
Honestly, just buy us a ticket to your hot tub that you'll buy with the RGH money, and that's close enough. All right, boys, thank you so much for watching. We do this Goofy Gaming podcast every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure to follow the channel. If you're interested in becoming a member, become a member. If you want to give a little super chat and donate, do that as well. We'd appreciate it. It helps pay for the editor. Trust me.
We
We have a lot of fun doing this. I'm Mtashed. That's KackisHD, and that's true Vanguard.
Someone just sent me a
Yikes!
GIF.
I can spell asleep.
He
Someone
can't
sent
type.
Someone just sent me a GIF of a shirtless wrestler with my head photoshopped off, lifting up a belt and doing this, the winning. I'm like, what the heck did this come from?
That's more important than the outro of the podcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll bring you all the gaming news next week.